Hello, my name is Jason Montgomery. I am the host of Open Mic'd. Open Mic'd is a monthly open mic with a feature here at Holyoke Media. Holyoke Media has been kind enough to partner with us on this project. And so we are brought to you by a trusty grant from the Mass Cultural Council and the Holyoke Local Cultural Council. I will say that a total of 3 times tonight, regardless of how many people we have on the open mic, just so they can never accuse me of not properly promoting and branding this. This is a recorded evening. If you do not wish to have your poem included or your poetry included in that recording, please let me know and we will make an adjustment with Holyoke to have it removed. It is broadcast live for you, not live. We're broadcast not live on Holyoke Media, and you'll be featured on Holyoke Media's YouTube channel along with the Presse, which is who does this nonsense. So first up to bat, I think we have Sean is actually our first reader tonight. I'm sorry if you're not ready, unless someone else cut in. No? Okay. No, it is Sean. So we asked that you read about 5 minutes, but given tonight the list is so short, go nuts.
Hi, I'm Sean. I feel a little bit like I don't know if cheating is the right word, but I was telling Zoe I read earlier today for the first time in a few years. So twice in one day feels like too much of me. But this is great. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to hear Zoe soon. I'll read a few poems. I'll try to take about 5 minutes. This is called Scene. I live in a town a child could draw. Have you felt this kind of drama? I ask a friend in the city. The sped up grass and a lapsing kind. Each morning, a minor mountain draws the sky into our lives, and 2 ghostly oaks poke fingers into the visible miracle. In the middle distance, an emergency vehicle pitches its numb jingle. A grown-up asks no one special where the sirens are going, and an answer stays aloft in the fog. I want to carry more into each day than I have learned to balance, like that roof in the drawing, an impossible point where the sky tries to rest. Hands make cathedrals. He's playing with the idea of things dying. Hands bringing the world into nearness. Bark on skin, stone in the mouth. The odd, constant pendulum of hunger turned outward. Hunger in the moon's absence and its fullness. We often land in song, see ourselves lofted over questions of water, color, galaxy, justice. There has to be a reason, and it has to be spoken. There were dinosaurs, and then there was John Denver. That's justice. Someone once asked me which war my father fought in, and I had to think about it. Before you, there was a moment to which you owe your life. It could be this one, the onion rolling off the table, or the sound it will eventually make. Dolly-esque. I hope someday I'll be your reason to defy a stranger's heated breath. Guts poking out at strangers, strangers moving into focus through bad action. Someday you'll leap this tragedy, lucky to be alien, watching from the tree houses, elves shake hands with capitalists, and a rosary of recycling bins blows itself down the frontage. Someday you'll offer your fingers to a feral cat unleashed in the wild vocabulary. And I'll read one more, I think. Picnic. I saw a tree and I wanted its arms around me. Why stop there? The hollow of an animal's throat goes guttural. I don't make them happy, I think, but I could make them hungry. The boy and I decline civility in the zone of robins. To pull a worm from warm earth seems a bad thing, which is the content of our pitched yells. Our nature show is that moment our laughter loops around us, so we're its vessels. Humans hover near, and utensils fall through the beams of low sky, noiseless. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. And can we give another big hand for Sean? Because always when we have someone who's never read here before, so thank you very much. And you were number 2, not number 1, but what are you going to do? Again, my name is Jason Montgomery. I'm from Attack Bear Press. We partner with Holyoke Media to bring you a open mic that happens with a feature once a month here at Holyoke Media. We are brought to you by a generous grant from the Mass Cultural Council and Holyoke Cultural Council. They give us money, so we say these words every single month. Next up, can we have Bill, please? Bill.
Thank you, Jason. I've got 2 poems. I'll read one. If there's time later on, I'll try the other one. This is called The Unfenced Field of the Heart. I have lived all my life in one small corner of my heart, afraid of being hurt, yet hurting all the while, skirting the thin edges of life like ice, unable to bear even the weight of the thought of me, letting me fall all the way back through the sperm-struck egg into the pinpoint void, disappearing in dark. I have always wanted someone to tell me it will be all right, that my presence here is tolerable, like a father reaching out to a son, taking his first few wobbly steps, steadying and reassuring him that he has a place and an efficacy of his own, like a touch that never came. And yet it was your touch in your eyes, falling into mine so quietly, speaking of powerful intent and passion and longing, the sensation of your henna hair as I held and caressed your head, a light summer wind blowing through both our souls. On Sugarloaf Mountain, I melt with you endlessly, all my self-imposed boundaries dissolving in the unimaginable, unforgettable warmth and flavor of your body, of that sweet-tasting, infinite opening into that unfenced field of the heart called love, where my bitter and brittleness finally evaporate, where I no longer need to be judgmental of self or others, choosing to be vulnerable, willing to be hurt, accepting you and the fact that I cannot have you any more than I can have the wind, any more than I can keep from crying, or keep those golden fall leaves from falling forever in memory onto our preoccupied, yearning bodies, lying half hidden in the thick of aspen trees, risking all for the sake of a sacred feeling. You blessed me and trusted me with your love, with a reason for emerging like birth out of the void and fear-bound constriction into that unfenced field of the heart where we are both free, where I hurt and do not disappear, where I am alone, remembering how once I loved you and you touched me with wind and fall leaves.
Hello again. My name is Jason Montgomery. I am the host of Open Mic. This is the third time I'm going to say the exact same thing, just so that we're sure I have met all of my grant requirements. Open Mic is a monthly open mic that with a feature that happens here at Holyoke Media. Holyoke Media is our amazing partners. They come out every Saturday. We do this, and they film, and they give us this amazing space. So can we give it up for Holyoke Media, please? Yeah. Can we also get a round of applause for Mass Cultural Council and the Holyoke Cultural Council? Yeah. Who give us the money so that we can pay our feature. This is the point in the night where I usually pretend like, oh, can I read a poem, please? And then the audience goes, yay, and it wouldn't matter because I'm up here and in control. So I will read a poem whether you like it or not. I'm going to read two tonight, actually. So the first one is called A Love Poem for My Friend That Facebook Stalks Her Exes. You don't remember a single real thing about him, like a late night commercial jingle or the one time your mom hit you with a closed fist. Maybe that time you tried getting high for the first time in the backyard of someone you knew from that other person you knew from that guy at work. It's all vague in generalities, like toots and maytails on your doorstep, on your downstairs neighbor's radio. You want to want him, or you want to wanting him. Instead, you have blue screen night lights on the second day of Ramadan. This year took so much away, but gave you a tax incentive, which you will pay off in the spring. He's now going to law school in Boston, and maybe you're proud of him, because you got fucked last night, which is a promise with a catch, like you paint it like a photograph, then smile as the face washes away when you clean your brushes in the slop sink. So that's that poem. And the other one is much, much, much shorter. So this one... My grandmother's body lays at rest at Evergreen Cemetery, even though her spirit keeps knocking around and stopping in to ask me questions about the future. Eventually, my last auntie will follow her there, and I'll have no place left to stay in the valley. It doesn't feel right to get a hotel room in your hometown. The sun is setting on my center. So that is two poems. And now I have the really, let me do this real quick. This is the last call for alcohol. Any burning desires to read a poem? Burning desire, come on up.
Hi, I'm Kai. Hi, Jason. This is my second time reading here. Can I do a tiny plug? Okay. I also host queer poetry open mic at 10 Forward in Greenfield, if you're ever up that way, the last Monday of the month. And our next one will be this coming Monday, the 25th. We have a fantastic feature who is Joan Tate, who is a trans poet who is teaching and completing an MFA program at UMass right now. It should be a great night. So if you can make it up there, it's a good time. All right. So I'm going to read a really brutal poem that I've never read out loud, and then I'm going to read a really beautiful poem because I feel like that's the way to end. Okay. Mate crime. Mate crime is a form of crime in which a perpetrator befriends a vulnerable person with the intention of then exploiting the person financially, physically, or sexually. Mate, British slang for friend. Crime perpetrators take advantage of the isolation and vulnerability of their victim to win their confidence. Hi, I'm sitting inside of this closet again. Hi, this is a laugh. Hi, the door is locked. Hi, it's dark in here, but it's okay because I like the dark. I like the dark. I like the dark. The lights are too bright. Anyway, hi, this is just another migraine. You're right, you're right. I'm just going to lay here until it goes away. I know it's not real. You're right. I'm melodramatic. You're right. I know all these big words, and I should pretend not to because then the kids say I'm weird. If you're laughing, should I be laughing too? Hi, you said you were my friend, and now it's your birthday, and it's February, and I'm barefoot, and it's cold and snowing, and the front door is closed, but we're still playing hide and go seek, right? Hi, I know I said I wanted this, so I must want this. Hi, I don't know what it means to be wrong, so you must always be right. Hi, my mom told me to call you on the phone to say that it wasn't nice, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, and now you're laughing and you're right. This is a joke. Hi, you told me I was fat, so I stopped eating. Hi, you told me I was ugly, so I cut my hair with a pair of scissors I found next to the kitchen sink. Hi, this is what I'm supposed to want, isn't it? I saved that bird in the backyard and put it in the treehouse, and you're right. I'm stupid, stupid, stupid. You're right. The cat was just doing what cats do. You're right. I should never cry. Hi, I'm just going to try this because I want to see what happens. Can we just hold each other tightly and still be friends? Hi, you're right. I'm a slut. I've led you on. I'm selfish. Hi, I did everything you ever asked me to do. Hi, your mom said we can't be friends anymore because you're a bad influence on me. Hi, yeah, it's midnight and you might die, but I'll take you to that one house that makes my heart leap into my throat and let that man squeeze my thighs so you can get the things you need because that's what friends do, right? Hi, this is my body and it doesn't feel like mine anyway, so do what makes you happy, I guess. This is what friendship is, isn't it? All right, and I'm going to end on something sweet. I just proposed to the love of my life a few weeks ago. Thanks. And this is the first poem that I ever wrote for him. So it is called Honey Salve. We catch snowflakes on our tongue without mittens. We sustain ourselves on each other's breath. We sit in this winter chill and wait for flower pollen and bees. In the maelstrom of words, in the storm of becoming, there is something that sparkles. Broken glass or miracle. I am a human in a body experiencing pleasure, skin on skin, and I have lost track of what it means to have ever felt anything other than this. My skin is a roadmap, short history of everything that has been, sting and twist, and there is blood beneath the surface. My skin is a subway map of love, destinations unknown and also familiar. Tropical herb and corner store, mausoleum and market. Tip warm tea into my wide open mouth as the sun decides the outline of today. Feel the jerk and tremble in this sun-warm kiss and scream of everything coming unraveled and put back together. Puzzle pieces in the floorboards, the plants know your name. Black specter in the doorway. This is so many lives lived in an instant. I am whispering mantras, sweet spells of beginning. Thank you for everything you have already given me and everything that has yet to be. Thank you for sunrise and moonfall, for sunset and moonrise. Thank you for galaxies imploding 50,000 light years from this bed. Thank you for the sound of your breathing, for the wholeness of you. There is a magic that crinkles in the corner of your eyes. Cup stardust in the palm of your hand, and feed me slowly. Let me lick the salt and sting of it from each fingertip. Paint this room lemon yellow and maroon and the silver light of mid-morning. Open your mouth and I shall open mine as we ask together, hum, whisper, white noise of bees. What lifetimes have passed inside of this moment? What clocks have stopped today? Who first mixed the paint that colored everything blue? How have I already known you forever? With eyes closed, each question opens up, petal soft and sticky, waiting desperately for the honey need of bees. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai. Again, this is open mic'd. We always take plugs, so if you have something to plug it. I'm actually going to plug something real quick before I invite our feature up. It is a little thing called Press On, and Press On is happening on April 27th because I don't know how to schedule things. April 27th is also our next open mic. So, yeah, I do things really just shove them all together in one day. So if you get a chance to go to Press On, it will be held at 50 Arrow Gallery, located in East Hampton at 116 Pleasant Street, Suite 136. It's going to be an all-day event with various people selling things and poetry and all kinds of craziness. And I'm sure that Sean could probably have told us more because it's coordinated by Sean and his partner. That being said, let us bring up our feature reader for this month, Zoe Tuck. Can we get a big round of applause for Zoe? Yeah, I'm going to read a bio. And in case you're wondering, this is normally about as chaotic as this is. So, Zoe Tuck was born in Texas, became a person in California, and now lives in Western Massachusetts with her partner Britt and their dog Peach. She is the author of Bedroom Vowel, Bunny Press 2023, and Terror Matrix, Timeless, Infinite Light 2014. In addition to chapbooks, the Book of Bella, Doublecross Press, bound in Do edition with Emily Hunerwadel. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm just going to try my best. Peach Woman and Vape Cloud of Unknowing, Belladonna Collaborative. She co-edits Hot Pink magazine with Emily Bark Brown. She teaches creative writing and literature classes through Threshold Academy and elsewhere. Please, can we get a big round of applause for Zoe Tuck?
I've realized over the past couple readings that I've done that I've peppered my bio with some unpronounceable words. I'm like, of course you know how the last name Hunerwadel is pronounced, or that it's, whatever. I've got to edit that bio. Thank you all. Your poems were beautiful. This is a much better kind of reading where everyone has just read, or almost everyone. I'm looking at you. So yeah, thank you so much. Now I feel like I should thank a cultural council. Thanks to all the cultural councils everywhere. I feel like I should read a poem that I wrote today, because I feel like you deserve the fresh stuff. I was on leave from science. Crisp, common, kowtowing. Is this wrong? The fairies are magic, but also nature. Your kisses are magic, but also nature. Science and its disavowals. I wrote his and scratched the name out. I mean the word. No, you meant exactly what you said. Your little feints and dissemblings. The stream you couldn't bear to watch rippled. I was there, but not there, in the manner of a fairy. Though I am not one, I admitted you and you and you to my tree, my meadow, my music. Not that I own these forms, rather that I belong to them. What's keeping you there? Lynn asked. What I didn't say is that for nigh on 8 years, I've put the land and its waters into my body. This is the process of my becoming real for her, that ends on the beer, the pyre, the wind, and honey for the ants. Fruit has a seed in it, caught in the well of my molar. My vine has a thorn on it, snagging on your woolen sleeve. When you walked solivagant, a word I learned today, meaning wandering alone, muddying your boots, hefting your camera, under where my roots extend. Death is a sign that one is changing discourses, and I'm learning to die every year, into earth, wind, fire, flood, in their colloquy with the rooted world. So that's today. Thank you. Gosh, stages make me nervous. I mean, this is like a proper little black box theater, you know? I'm used to living rooms. No one happened to have been at the Bookends reading that I did recently, right? No? Bookends? Oh, okay, good, because this is going to be the same poems. So my friend, mentioned in the bio, Emily, has this shared Google Poem a Day doc that they do. So like every month they'll invite some friends and we'll all just drop a poem in. I usually last for like a few days and then drop off, but I get some great poems out of it. So these are my February poems. February 1st. Sample exotic temporalities in the book of years. Muddy boots tromping through gay green gables. Reading on the back of a horse, on the back of a dog, on the edge of a knife. Insistent voices grabbing at the fringes of my attention, pulling the towel from my lap as the flash activates. Was this the sex at the center of the novel? I think I look much better naked than clothed. Slanting structure, pink and taupe planes and volumes surrounded by a modest, God-fearing bush. What book is this? A long-haired dykey detective in a silk dress shirt. I'm giving them BJs in their PI office. I'm writing the seam of the book of years on the edge of my demoralized eros to arrive at what I naively refer to as another timeline. The book is called The Sex at the Center of the Novel, but when it came out, they said I hadn't written it, but rather transcribed it from the surface of my longing. The breadth of your back, my close-cropped fingernails digging compulsively at your blackheads. But how could they know that? The readers, I mean. And why hadn't they picked up on the weft? The ivy-choked lawn of my childhood, the snails that crowded the walk when it rained. It's because you give yourself away, Zoe, such that you had no choice but to obliterate their iridescence, walking forward into the humid day. That's February 1st. I gotta title these poems. Thank you. This is February 2nd. I don't know why the date feels so significant. I guess because I'm like a daily poet. I'm like, this is the day. Here's what I was thinking. Here's what I was feeling. Here's what I saw. Here's what I dreamed. The day is the soil for the poem. Okay, February 2nd. The best thing you can do in a museum is live in it. No, the best thing you can do in a museum is give it all back. Why shouldn't it be through you that I love justice? Which you? The one that settles over all of us like a fog, a cloak of night, a sheet of thought, a love of conversation, thought, and song. We have arrived here through different itineraries of ancestry and living. We linger in lyric time, textile time. They blitz the books, blow family life to smithereens, render the hillside desolate where lately pinkies tangled. The bomb says, Zoe, M, Geraldine. The structure of grammatical designation allows us to push them across the room, and for me to fold our names into the proximity of a we. Neither to let my fervor erase our histories, nor distinction our solidarity. And then, February 3rd. The fun thing about writing poems in a row of days is that then you can call back to the other poems. Because poetry is just stand-up by another name. Sitting at Wild Chestnut across from Britt and Luna, as a callback to the first poem of the month, I thought to call today's poem The Death at the Center of Sex, or at least to use that line in the poem. But then I thought, well, people might think I was alluding to the little death of cis male orgasm, which wasn't my original intention, but now that I'm thinking about it, dying and being reborn, what a dramatic way to talk about a refractory period. You're not Jesus, my dude. Why do I find it easier to write about sex? It titillates, it pleases the room, sometimes anyway. It is a kind of personal property, I mean proprietary, a personal my ownness, paradoxically belonging to everyone. My sex is always already mine. My death I'm slowly growing into. You can't practice death, have death with yourself, have death with someone you love or someone you just met. Something happens when I try to reach out and touch your death. My arms aren't long enough, and if in the guise of a witness I try to take your death up, to put it on like a suit of clothes, inevitably, I become a bad actor in every sense of the word, a necro-politician running as if for office, but actually for my life. What else did I write that month of February? All right. February 6th. This one has an epigraph from the mountain goats going to Georgia. The most remarkable thing about coming home to you is the feeling of being in motion again. It's the most extraordinary thing in the world. Not the mountain goats version, though, but Adam and his package. Synth loop, clap loop, nerdy, earnest, frog-throated vocals. The one that Shyla and Eric put on a mixtape for me in 2004 or 2005, let's say, along with a sea shanty about a ship called the Royal Oak. Hurtling towards the future, lacking in self-awareness, I can still go down to the damn spillway, look at the graffiti, wow, and life with a cat in the middle, with someone else who feels like an alien. What would shatter if I tried to pass through the boundaries of the mirror world? Probably me, bouncing off with a busted schnoz. Hop over brambles, regard the red withies and the clots of ice up the back of the dam. I think the first walk I ever took with Emily, we hopped a fence together. How thirsty I am for swerves and slant paths. Urchin in a brackish tide pool, clod of seaweed, clod of life, punky little dream in my mother's eye. And the end, we're getting there. We're getting there. This one is so hyper-specific, I don't know how it'll land. Are you guys doing okay? Yeah, okay, good. This one is a weird, I don't know, trans nostalgia or something like that. I don't know. It feels somehow incorrect. It's an incorrect opinion, but this is from February 7th. And it too has an epigraph from Sci-Fi Wasabi by Chibo Mato. And the epigraph is, Chibo Mato, 1999. Nostalgic for trans, with the sex, but minus the sexual. Nostalgic for genderqueer. Nostalgic for a place I never was, San Francisco, 1999. Nostalgic for Kate Bornstein. Nostalgic for the Center for Sex and Culture. The workshop, Exploring Your Sexual Identity Through the Art of Erotic Collage, and Tristan Taormino in her anal sexpert era. Fragments of real time and space, accidentally lodged in frames of the most insipid movies, like the one where Josh Hartnett can't have sex for 40 days. That's a real movie. Nostalgic for girl talk, I went with Amy Berkowitz. Each of Jules's books are so good, yes, and the friction they provoke generates whole-ass reams of my dissenting opinions. Trace the forking path back, disavow the disavowals, queer as fork, soft butch around the town, but Shannon Sossaman when I get naked. Women and femmes won, but what if it had been otherwise? All I'm really asking for is a little reality big enough for me, which, since a little fragment in it has to live in all your minds, is no small thing. Right? So specific. I don't know. Yeah. And then, should this be the end? The last one? One more? It's up to you. Yeah, I think leave him wanting more. I'm trying to, in my awkward way, address the moment that we're in. So this is me trying to do that, and it's definitely, yeah. This was, and it's also written on February 12th, so it's only sort of gotten worse. Every president bombs, rips the womb out of the world, leeches magic from the soil. But understand that by president, we are gesturing towards a broader corporate state nexus of power, embodied in a ghoulish ancient blood bag with a cunty little rictus on his face. In response to which, history, poetry, relationships, including with non-human others, the nothingness at the center of everything, and a heaping helping of tactics. That Adorno quote, you know the one, about poetry after Auschwitz, circulates as all things now do, loosely in context, liable to detach as easily as a limb or a retina. I think about my friend Selma posting something to the effect of, will Rafa be Gaza's Srebrenica, in reference to a genocidal killing of Bosniak Muslims by the Serbian army in an ostensible UN safe zone. And nothing is a metaphor for anything else, but like Hedwig's angry inch, metaphor is what we have to work with. I think about the impulse to memorialize, following ahead of the not yet dead, a US mind's impulse to close a mental moral loop. I get fragments of news of Palestine from following Instagram accounts, maybe check Al Jazeera, maybe listen to Democracy Now! What I know is the Israeli army, with US guns and money, pushed many Palestinians, at least 1.4 million, into Rafah, and then last night bombed the area indiscriminately, at least 67 reported dead so far. In Kansas City, organizers read a small fraction of the names of children killed. I get there late. People are raising their right hands while the list is read, and I don't know why. Life is like this. You just arrive in the middle. No complete knowledge is possible, no God's eye view, but you still have to act. We march and chant, then back to the book fair. Penina visits my table, points at the card that says Free Palestine, and says the yes in the center of nothingness that spirit obliges us to keep saying. On the way back to the airport, I visit a romance bookstore with Kai and Emily and ask for something witchy and lesbian. The book I'm handed, aside from the obligatory one bed at the inn, turns out to have decolonial themes. A refrain is that our hero's goal is not to kill the king, but to destroy the crown, a worthy anarchist goal if there ever was one. I think I'll end it there, if that feels okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And we've come to the end of another open mic. Thank you to everyone who came out on this rainy, cold, and kind of miserable night to read poems and to be in community together here at Holyoke Media, our partners in open mic. Thank you to Holyoke Media for all of the work that they do, not just recording these events, providing us the space, but then editing them and putting them together in these beautiful packages, which you will find on YouTube and their website and our website, and I'll send them around via the Facebooks and the Instagrams. Thank you to Mass Cultural Council for providing us money. Thank you to Holyoke Cultural Council for doubling that money. And thank you for being here tonight. Goodbye.